Hours of training and preparation build up to only one thing, race day. We're back with the triathlete duo Claire and Kent Horner for a unique glimpse into these multi-sport events.
When it comes to race days, there's a lot of things to prepare. I mean, how do you go about doing that?
The best to do is keep it simple. We always write a checklist. I mean, triathlon, you've got 3 sports, so you've got 3 different things to remember for. So I write a checklist, I write it for my athletes, I write it for us, and we literally in the morning or the night before the race, we go through the checklist from swim to bike to run to finish.
So what happens if you forget something?
The biggest thing is not to panic, and there's nothing you can do. I mean, you just got to roll with it, and that's racing. Nothing's ever going to go 100% smooth.
Triathletes compete for fastest overall course completion time, including time transitions between the individual swim, bike and run components. Transitions take a lot of practice and preparation.
You can be as fit as you want, but if your mind is not there, you are fighting a losing battle. So how important is mental preparation for you guys?
Sure, I think it's one of the most important things. I mean, I love the whole sports psychology of racing, and the psychological aspects behind it are so strong. Somebody can be the most trained athlete, but if he or she goes in there, you know, unhappy or having fought with somebody, they generally don't actually have a good race. So you'll look at athletes that are going in there with a positive mind, and they'll always have a much better race.
Now take us through the actual race. I mean, in terms of how you pace yourself down to when you use what supplements.
I think you've got to take the race length into account. Back to knowing your body and what you need. We've got a basic carbohydrate rule. That's the most important thing, as well as your electrolytes to get in the body. The longer it is, the more you've got to take in. So I have a 45-minute gel rule. Same as that, a lot of guys tend to panic with the longer race, and they also can overdo it. And I think you just got to go knowing how much you need, take what you need, and just get through it.
Race day is not the time to try anything new. From your shoes to your hydration and supplement routines should be well worn in, so you can enjoy the spirit of the race.
What are some of the benefits of supplements for both someone that's competing on a social level and someone like you guys, a professional athlete?
The big thing with supplements is whether you're on a social aspect or a pro aspect, supplements are important. For an Ironman, for example, you still need the supplements, and if you think about it, most people are mixing between 6 and 9 bottles of juice, and if it's water, there's obviously, I mean, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to realize that drinking a juice, for example, Cycle Power or Enduro Sport, as opposed to water is highly beneficial compared to just water for the day.
Kent, in your professional opinion, do you think that you guys could have reached this level without the use of supplementation?
Definitely not the same level. You're not going to fit in the same amount of training in the week. It's a huge recovery aid, so you can push your body a lot more, a lot further. You're going to get through it, but you're not going to get through it in the time that you want.
And what are your thoughts on the responsible use of supplements?
In this day and age, I mean, there's always a big question mark of whether pro athletes are on banned substances or not, and I think it all boils down to trusting the product that you take, and Kent and I have really aligned ourselves with USN. We trust it, we've been using it for years, so we know that it's fine, and it really works for us.
So what are the supplements that you use for, let's say, an event like the Ironman?
During the Ironman, your electrolyte replacement is your Cycle Power. You just can't go without that. We also incorporate the Enduro Sport. It's actually used as a pre-carb loading drink. So we actually mix it in a lot of our bottles. Live on the gels, can't do without those. Halfway through, I also introduced the Epic Pro. It's been a great product that's been launched, and it's one of the first protein supplements that you can take that actually don't make you feel so nauseous.
The body uses protein to build muscle and other lean tissue structures, and to some extent to fuel activities. Your intake should be fine-tuned for your triathlon goals and for success.
Describe to me that feeling when you cross the finish line in first place.
We're still striving to have a really big finish, like an Ironman first finish or a 70.3 first place. Both of us have had podiums in the bigger races, which is awesome. It's unbelievable. In the smaller races we've won. It's a great achievement. It's a wonderful feeling, and I think for me it's more just the relief of actually finishing in that place, and knowing that you finished in first is great.
At one of the first ever Ironman events more than 30 years ago, US Navy Commander John Collins said, "Swim, bike, run and brag the rest of your life." Tune in again tomorrow for more on Claire and Kent's unforgettable triathlon experiences. In the meantime, join USN SA on Facebook.